Hi everybody. So if you go to page 186, now read these sentences and make sure you understand the underlined words or expressions. So the video, I'm going to tell you, just in case you didn't know. Ready? So number 1, reached a peak. That's the peak. Remained relatively stable. More or less at the same level. The number of people, so you have, okay, the number of people moving to a city, and then you have the number of people moving out of New York. Overtook, like a car. Okay, so it's sobrepasar, adelantar. A brief dip, so it was going up, pump, but then it went up. That's a brief dip. Dip is like dippers. You have dippers like Doritos or something, and you dip them in sauce. That's dip. Or a dip in the pool is una zambullida. So dip is to go down a little bit. Okay, they decrease. So anything that goes down, decrease. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Steep fall. Fall and steep is like this. A normal fall is like this, but this is steep. Okay, pronunciada. So you're going to listen now to a program. Now I find this very difficult. You can listen to it as many times as you want. Okay, so ready? Listen to it, and you have to decide if these are true or false. Ready? I'm going to give the answer in 3, 2, 1. Make sure if you listen to it 3 or 4 times. You may need to listen to it 3 or 4 times. I remember this one was quite difficult. If you want, you can go to page 200 and something and check the script before I give you the answers. Page 216, I said 15 or something. 216, you have it. So you can read it. You have it here now anyway. You can read it and try to check your answers. Ready? So I'm going to show you the evidence in 3, 2, 1. So this is the evidence. If you want, you can read the evidence and try to check your answers, but I'm going to tell you straight away. So you are welcome to stop, check the evidence, and do it. It's difficult, so don't feel bad about it. I mean, even reading it, I had to think about it. Perhaps I've never been very good with this part of social science. So this one is easy, the highest. So that's the peak, no? 2000, the highest, no problem. Number 2, this one is easy too. It grew substantially. So it didn't remain stable during the first half of the 20th century because it grew substantially. So it is the opposite. Now this is where it gets interesting. 3, the number of people moving out, true. That's why it dropped from 7.9 to 7.1 despite the baby boom, because many families left New York for the suburbs. So many people left that despite the baby boom and immigration, there were still fewer people. Okay, so the population, the number of people living there dropped. So that is number 3. So it is true that more people left than came in. And 4 is also true. There was a brief dip in its population after 1950. Okay? After 1950, you see? Between 1950 and 1980, there was a brief dip. Well, I don't know. Brief dip, perhaps. No, I think it's false. It is false because it's not brief. Perhaps it's long. Okay? Not very big because it's not a big different one. But it's not brief. It happened over 80 years. So that's why possibly I think this is false. Because of brief. It's not really brief. So for false. 5, the decrease in the number of people living continued. This one is not very clear, to say the truth. This means that the number of people living New York for suburbs was going down. But it means that until 1980, the decrease in the number of people means that fewer people left. So fewer people are living, or the opposite. Perhaps I should have done it the other way. Okay, means these are the people living, lots of people living, and then these numbers started decreasing. Fewer people, imagine 1 million people, 2 million people. So fewer people are living, until, so that's not very clear. And the answer is true, because it says this trend was reversed over the next 2 decades. Partly because of this, but it doesn't say anything else about people leaving. So anyway, it's true, but not very clear. Don't worry too much about it. I think perhaps they got confused when they wrote the sentence. There's the decrease in the number of people leaving. So people leaving, but that number has decreased, but we didn't know exactly how many people were leaving. So don't worry. And 6, a steep fall. No, it says moderate growth. So that's not steep fall. Very interesting. This is very, very difficult. Every year, I don't know why this is here. To make you feel bad, I guess. This was vocabulary focus, so you have some vocabulary, some more vocabulary. Words that you can use instead of a lot, a little, go up and go down. You have clues. We've seen some of them already, but anyway. So you can listen to it or go to the script. And I'm going to give the answers in 3, 2, 1. Make sure you found them. So, a lot. There are 2 words. It's not that the expression has 2 words. It's that there are 2 options. So one is substantially, and the other one is sharp. Sharp is a lot. A little, you have moderate. Moderate, so a little. You had moderate growth. So a little. For go up, you have search. Search. Where was search? So I'll write it down. Search, like a power surge, es una subida ¿no? La subida de la electricidad, la potencia, I think. A power surge, so sometimes that can destroy your appliances, ¿no? Tus appliances, electrodomésticos. There's a power surge, ¿no? The power is always stable and then there's a surge. Okay, so that's it. Normally, I've seen it with power surge. So surge, grew, a rise in, boosted. We've seen boost, like Adidas Boost. The shoes. Okay, and go down, decline and drop. Decline and drop, those are to go down. So number four, you can take some notes for this. This lets me. For number 4, you may actually need to do some research into the migration trends in LTAM. Okay. So number 5, you have these words, read the text and try to fit them in the right place. And make sure you read it, please. Okay. Now notice sometimes you have clues, like decline can be a verb, or can be a noun, dropping, ing, overtaken, the third form, pick a noun, reason the third form, sudden adjective. So you have some clues. Just by looking at the grammar, you should be able to get them right. Okay, so make sure you've done it. I'm going to read the answers in 3, 2, 1. Notice expectedly, unexpectedly. There was in the Hunger Games. So has risen. The only options were has overtaken or has risen. But has overtaken, you overtake something. Okay, slow population, decline. To settle is to get a house and start living there. That's to settle, establecerse. Okay, so the other option with has overtaken those living. So you need, I told you, overtake something else. Okay, this sudden rise, adjective, noun. Pupils, students, had been dropping. So had been, you need ing is the only option. It's formal, you need a noun. So pick, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And that's it. 6 and 7. Take some notes means take some notes, so that then when we come to class, you don't have to spend 5 minutes thinking about it. You have your notes and you start speaking. Okay, so 6 and 7, make an effort to use all the vocabulary that you've seen in this unit. And that's it. It's very little, but then you have the podcast and you have the Hunger Games, which should take you a couple of hours at least to do it properly. Okay. Thank you very much. Bye.